So I came up with this framework while running, and this is after going to a collab day with a bunch of creators in LA. There's two main ways of making money as a creator. Like they can make a lot of money really fast. Is number one is from horny men, and number two is from big corporations. And you cannot have both. And number three, which both can happen, is a money printing SaaS. And I notice in LA, there's a lot of more creators who make money from horny men. And in SF, there's a lot of creators who make money from corporations. So think like LinkedIn creators, like the corporation, like LinkedIn creators, tutorials, Instagram, like educational content, business content, finance content, healthy content. And then in LA, there's a lot of no shame towards anyone, by the way. I think it's like a really good hustle. They're really smart for doing this, but OnlyFans, passes, think thirst traps. And there's a lot of horny men. And like I have like a lot of friends who also make content from like passes and stuff in their stream. And like their live stream comments are nasty, man. Like I was on they're like Twitch streamers and I was like in some of them and like they're nasty. And then meanwhile, like my LinkedIn creator friends, like all usually the comments are like very corporate friendly. And I don't know, like I just noticed like two main ways of making money. What do you think, Justin? Have you noticed the same thing?
I mean, yeah, right. Like, I definitely know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know any like OnlyFans creators or anything like that, but I have friends that are adjacent within that industry. So like I hear stories, which is kind of insane, some of the amounts of money that they're able to pull. But I would also argue too, like I think with anything when it comes to content creation, the 1% just makes so much more than the average person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether we're talking about regular creator, whether you're talking about OnlyFans, whether you're talking about even athletes and NIL money, right? Like, yes, the headline stories are absolutely insane of how much money some of these people are pulling on things. But you have to actually look at like the reality. Like, what is the actual, not even average, right? But what's the mode or the median? Sorry, that's the right one. What's the actual median when it comes to how much money people are making in these spaces? So, but I do agree. I think you need to make a sort of line in your content of, am I focusing more towards, in your words, right, horny men or corporations? Some will argue that there is an overlap in that too, but in terms of the content, right, it's you basically, for better words, you can say like, are you going to be brand safe or are you not going to be brand safe? And I
Mm-hmm.
think for us, right, like we definitely lean more brand safe, especially with this podcast and everything like that. We talk about juicy subjects like this because this is a piece of the creator world, a large piece relatively, right? Because even like OnlyFans itself as a platform is like a multi-billion-dollar company, I believe. And it's just really interesting to see how a bunch of different people make money with their content. There's not just one way. And I think I would say that's my perspective on it, is there are so many different ways to make money with your content, but the caveat to that is you have to make sure that the way that you're making money is right for you. And I think that's different for every single person out there.
Mm-hmm. It depends on your goals. I mean, horny men and horny women together. There's like men OnlyFans creators as well, too, that probably rake in a lot of money, but not as much as what I've seen like women OF creators. I don't want to get censored, so I'm gonna say OF. We should interview some OF creators, or maybe, and maybe not actually. So I know some. I've been
I
too
know
deep into
that
the
like
LA scene.
it's really interesting because like I've heard stories that these people are pulling in, again, stupid amounts of money, right? But like it's not the way that you would think. Like in my head, I'm thinking, again, what I would say an average person is thinking when it comes to OF, right? But from what I've heard is that they're actually making a lot of money just off of chats, and you're actually
Mm.
not even talking to the guy or the girl behind the account. You're just talking to like John from the Philippines who's getting paid like $3-4 an hour to just reply back to you as X or Y. And
Mm-hmm.
like that to me is interesting. It's a little shady, but like I mean that's probably ends up turning into like ChatGPT in the future, right? Like just a chat bot. But like again, it's not right for me. I wouldn't personally do it, but I'm not gonna knock the people that are. Like, go get your bag
Mhm.
if that's your route. As long as it's not
Yeah,
like illegal or anything, right? Like,
yeah, I respect the hustle. I have a friend who runs a company called Cloud Kitchens. They pivoted, but they used to focus on like musicians, OnlyFans creators, and like automate chatbots from people from the Philippines and like AI as well as responding. So it's crazy, man. These parasocial relationships and these lonely people um need to fulfill their human needs with these creators, and these creators notice that and they're really smart for taking advantage of that. But I don't know. Personally, for me, I would never do that because I feel like it's like not creating net positive for society. But totally respect people who are because they're really smart business people. Yeah, I don't know. Just spicy stuff I've been reflecting because I'm
yeah.
just
I
like,
mean,
hmm,
I
yeah.
think like the last thing that I'll say on this is if you make content around any vice, it's likely going to get a lot of views,
Mm-hmm.
right? So with OF, right, obviously that's like thirst traps, things like that. But you can also go into betting, right? Like especially right now, sports betting is a really big thing in the world. Kind of controversial. If any of you are into the sports betting space, like you know about Chauncey Billups, you know about Terry Rozier and all that stuff that's going on right now. Um, there's a lot of movement happening in the sports betting space, betting in general, but that's another vice, right? And that comes there. I mean, there's a guy who grew on Instagram where he would, I think he got super famous where he was literally just betting how many, like, he would bet the amount of dollars every single day on like red or black, depending on how many followers he grew that day or something like that. And it just kept on growing because then this people just want to watch this degenerate bet 10 grand on black or red or something like that, or a game of blackjack or whatever it was. And then more people would want to keep following it because they want that number to keep growing and growing and growing, which is absolutely insane. But again, I think anytime that you create content around any of those vices, they're vices for a reason. They're getting people's attention regardless, right? It's just the different mode of getting that vice has just kind of changed with the internet. Now, obviously, you have to find a way, if that is the space that you want to play in, you have to find ways around like restrictions and everything like that. Like I think it's alcohol, you're not allowed to drink alcohol technically like on screen. But like again, there's ways that Budweiser obviously spends a ton of money on advertisements and stuff like that, so they're able to get around it. But yeah, vices on social do really well. It just depends on if that's right for you. Again, for me, can't be asked, but I respect the people that do create in that space.
Yeah, very smart business people. Yeah, I just been like, I just like, during my time in LA doing these collabs with creators, going to collab day. I've noticed my vibe. I feel like they like they're more like let's just say they're more emotionally in touch with their feelings versus for me, I'm just very tech bro, very like stoic, like logical versus they're really emotionally intelligent. They like really just like vibe emotionally versus sometimes I feel like I'm just like too tech bro, like too programmy, like right or wrong, logical, and it's harder for me to like get too deep or like really just like those like girls who are like, oh my god, I love your dress, it's so pretty. I'm just like I cannot like vibe in that same wavelength, and I'm
Yeah.
starting to notice that with people, and I noticed like I can put girls into two different categories, not trying to judge people or anything, but I'm just like I've noticed that there's a lot of more people like that. And then I also recognize that I need to work on my emotional intelligence because I can't like vibe. You know how these people like you're like, oh honey, oh sweetie, like oh my god, you're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so cute. Yeah.
Well, I think
I'm
it's
just
different
like
cultures, right? And I think like I've been fortunate enough where I've like moved a lot within the US for extended periods of time, right? I think you've been able to travel a lot, but this is you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is the first time that you've like lived somewhere else for like an extended period of time. So you're really getting in touch with the culture of LA, I feel.
Mhm.
And if we're being honest, the culture of LA is very different than SF. So this is I think it's been really cool for me to like watch and like hear our conversations because like I've had these similar conversations with you because I come from small town, right? Small town versus big city sort of mindsets around things. Growing up with less Asians versus growing up with a lot of Asians, like there's a lot of different cultural like nuances that I've been able to experience. Just again, places that I've moved and things of that nature, that has been cool to see sort of you go through with like spending more and more time in LA. I'm like, yeah, like I totally know what you mean, Grace. Like I've been there, totally get it, because it is different. And I think I appreciate like everything that you say, because it's like you're not coming at it from a judgmental standpoint, which I think is important, right? Like you can still understand, notice things, but it's not like you're knocking on them or anything. It's like they have their certain style of life. They do what they do. It might not be right for me, but I can learn some things here and there from it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I think has been dope of just seeing
Oh, thank you.
your little transformation over the past, what was it been like 3-4 months,
Yeah.
or as the kids would say, 6-7 months, right? um, right, but no, I think it's been really cool
6
to see like you going through the differences of specifically SF culture in LA, because you've lived in SF literally your whole life.
Yep. I just traveled, but I mostly just stayed in a bubble. Cause like in Cupertino, where there's a lot of Asians, there's no emotion there. It's all like just study hard and shut up and study and work hard. I'm just like, what is like, oh my God, you're so pretty. Like, what is I'm just like culture shock. I was like, what? People act like this? Like,
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I think that's the beauty of the U.S. that isn't talked about enough. Where it's like there's so many different cultures, right? Like Northeast culture is so different than West culture, West Coast culture, and even West Coast is different within the West Coast, right? You've got like Southern California, LA-ish culture, you've got SF culture, and then even the Pacific Northwest is a very different culture too. And that's not even talking about the Midwest, the like Southern culture, because Southern culture is kind of what you're talking about, of like, oh my God, like when older ladies are calling you like honey and stuff like that.
sweetie,
Yeah,
sweetheart.
sweetie and stuff. Like it's so different. And it's not a bad thing or wrong thing, right? It's just different cultures of how people grew up or like how they talk and things like that. And I hope people that are listening, right, if you want to become a creator, usually that gives you more sort of like freedom to go and experience some of these things. Like go and move somewhere, see how things are like, because it is dope seeing how, or getting into like deeper conversations of where other people are from and stuff like that, because
Hmm.
you get to learn a lot. All right, so I think that's a good transition into Adobe Max, which is where you were at all last week. I think this is the last of your crazy, what was it, like 60 event sprint over the past like 3 or 4 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, I went to 60 events in October. A lot of them were brand deals actually, and a lot of them were like a lot of my sponsor events, friends events, parties. October is just a busy time of year. I don't know how I did it. That's my personal record of most events in 1 month. Yeah, Adobe Max is pretty lit. I call it Adobe Max Aura, but now we are back. I do not have 60 events in November. I can finally have time to like lock in and like actually focus on content instead of keeping up with all the events that are happening. I love events though. Keep inviting me to them. I will still come. I made so much content at these events that I'll be posting. I made so many skits, street interviews, more stuff coming your way soon. But Adobe Max was very interesting this year. I had a really great time. Like this is my fourth time going. I went as a creator, so it was like a brand trip for me. They paid for everything. There's in LA. They even paid for my hotel and my Ubers. So I was just like staying in LA, in downtown LA. So it's like a nice like 5-star, 6-star hotel. It's pretty lit.
What was the
Um,
hotel?
it was Intercontinental. It's like the tallest building in LA.
Oh, nice. That's
Hmm.
fire. Yeah, that's different than the one that they had us in when they flew me out over there. It was still a nice hotel when they
Oh,
sent out all the ambassadors, but it wasn't an intercontinental, that's for sure.
oh. So like as a, I don't. I think I might have signed an NDA. But basically, like, for all the ambassadors, there's like so many different Adobe groups. But I was with Express and Firefly. I think they had the most budget, and they basically had the most budget. Yes, and so
Yeah.
they're the ones. Sorry, I'm like trying to like tiptoe between like NDAs, like payments and stuff. But I had a really great time. Like
You
every time I go to
probably
Adobe
can't
Max,
say you probably can't say how much you made, which I think that's
yeah,
okay. But can you I think you can say what your deliverables were.
yeah. So my deliverables were 5 videos or 5 posts. Um, 2 of the posts had to be product focused. two of the posts was like experience focused, and one of them can be like a low fidelity one, could be like Instagram story frames, that save on your
Okay.
profile. So it could be like the two product focused posts had to be on your main channel, and the two other like vloggy conference style posts can be on your secondary channel, and then the story post count as one too. So that was deliverable. um and there was like some additional paid opportunities for Adobe Express ambassadors that I participated in as well. It's like some other paid videos, but it was like a basically gifted campaign,
Gotcha.
plus some other paid opportunities that I'm working on as well. It was I've noticed that during the keynote, the first like 3 quarters of it, like 75% of it were like creator tools like Firefly video editing, Adobe Express. It's like geared towards like creators. And the last 25% were like illustrator, like actual designers. So when I was like at the keynote and I was like watching some of the comments on Discord, it was actually getting so much hate from designers. They're like, oh, Adobe's losing a target customer. They're too focused on creators. Not everyone wants to be a creator. um they're like losing their target audience of designers. So it was interesting, but as a creator myself, I enjoyed it. I'm excited for the new features, but it was still like interesting watching the comments on the live stream online. I was like, everyone's like hating on it. Like majority of people were hating on it, but I loved
Well, the
it.
thing is,
Yeah.
the funny, like, I don't know why these brands live stream things, because I feel like, or at least if you're going to live stream, turn the comments off. Because
Mm.
I feel like, in my opinion, the type of person that's going to comment on something likely isn't going to like it. That's why they're commenting.
Mm.
Like, not that many people will go ooh in the comments, but there's a lot more people that will be like, oh, this product sucks or that product sucks or whatever it may be. Like, even now on like handshake stuff, when I'm able to go and look at the ads that we run, I mean, some of the comments are crazy, right? Just because that's just the nature of people, unfortunately, is even if something is great, the people that think it's great likely won't say yes, compared to the people who don't think it's great will say no. And the people that typically say no again or are against something are usually louder, or they're heard more than the people that just say yes and agree with something, right?
Just like how rage
Um,
bait works.
yes, exactly, right? Like,
Mhm.
this is just more from like a corporate strategy standpoint. I understand if you want to live stream it, you get your numbers up, sure, especially for like corporate partners and everything like that. But just turn the comments off. It's not worth it. Like, it's, in my opinion, it's not worth it. But to your point, so you said that you kind of agree where Adobe is heading in terms of like focusing more on content creators and stuff like that.
Yeah, and agents. There's like AI assistant into a bunch of Adobe apps, so we can like prompt it to do stuff, which I'm really excited for. But I feel like the AI is not where I tried Hubble out. I think it has room to improve, but now you can use different models for your image generators. Like Firefly can use like Nano Banana and like other things too, which is really exciting. I have still yet to try all the stuff, but yeah, I'm really excited about like Premiere Pro video editing app, because like there's also like cleanup audio, which is actually really good. I tried it. It's better than CapCut. But I use CapCut too, but all of my like cute little like ducky templates, that my title text is the duck one, it's only on CapCut, so I'm kind of sad. Maybe one day I can integrate them into Premiere. And I like the fonts on CapCut, like the ones I have saved so far, but I'm sure Adobe Fonts has a better library. They also launched like a bunch of like Firefly video editor, a bunch of AI tools, and there was just so much hate against AI tools. Like there's a whole group of people who like don't like Adobe. Like I remember a couple of years ago at Max, there's a bunch of artists who like were like protesting against Adobe at Adobe Max too.
Hmm.
It's kind of crazy. But I've also noticed more and more artists and actors and creatives here in LA are starting to embrace AI and starting to like use it to their advantage too. So yeah, I think like there's less haters against well, there's still a lot and they're really strong. But less and less people. Because I've also talked to some artists and they really don't like Adobe. Like I remember I was doing some brand deals with Adobe, and like a bunch of like my former artist friends unfollowed me because I was making content about Adobe. And One time I used to like hang out in this like other Discord with a bunch of like Bay Area artists and go to their meetups. One time like one of the owners of the community um messaged me saying that like, oh, we got some like feedback about from other community members saying that you were working with Adobe. Um, Adobe has a bunch of AI features. Just make sure, just want to let you know and make sure don't talk about that stuff in our Discord. I'm like, oh, okay. So I stopped talking in that Discord because I feel uncomfortable.
Hmm.
Now I felt sad. So I was just like, I'm just gonna like leave.
Well,
I
so
guess.
it's interesting because like I know we've had this conversation around like cults, right? And like cult
Mm,
brands where if you're not pissing someone off, then you likely don't have a brand or a perspective, right? And I think Adobe's in this really interesting spot where there's a lot of competitors that have kind of popped up, right? You've got the Canvas of the world, the CapCuts, etc., that have kind of popped up, maybe taken some of their market share, and now they're having to get back into like their reinventive wheel that got them to be Adobe in the first place. And I'm really interested to see what happens. I wonder what like the adoption of Adobe Express has been since like launching. I haven't been super close with the Adobe Express team over the past like year or two or so. So I need to check back in with them and see how they're doing. But it does seem that they are shifting everything. Or if Max was an indicator for anything, it was that Adobe is shifting almost 100% towards content creators. Like, I saw almost like all of my friends were posting about Adobe Max last week. Whether it was you, Adrian Vasquez was over there, Chloe was over there, like everyone. And I was like, dang, the 1 year I did not go or like really try hard to get invited to Max, literally everybody got invited to it. And so it was really interesting to see that tactic. I didn't pay attention to like what the keynotes or anything like that were going to be, but now hearing your insights, it kind of does make sense. So I guess I understand where their strategy is kind of going. My only thing with that is I wonder if they invited the right people necessarily, because there were some creators there that were just like, it didn't seem like their target audience would be Adobe users, if that
yeah.
made sense. Um, but again, that I think that's a broader strategy. But like when you're inviting people like you, Adrian Purr, um, etc., I think that makes sense. But then again, I got sent a video of someone who was in like the career space that got sent to Adobe Max, and I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't think that that audience really aligns. But hey, go get your bag. Like,
Hmm.
I respect it.
I know brands were sending creators over. I know LinkedIn sent a bunch of creators over to Max too. So brands were bringing their own creators to Max.
Oh,
And
interesting.
I also
Who was
got a
there from
brand deal from
LinkedIn?
LinkedIn. The do you know LinkedIn guys creating like that page? It was like a bunch of the creator partnerships and people who run that page. They're really nice too. We're talking about collaborating and like paid sponsorships and stuff now because I was like there every day talking to them. Riz. But yeah, I
Respect.
like let me make an intro for you for Adobe Max. I feel like you could be like an Express ambassador since they target people who make social media content, and I think your LinkedIn content would be perfect, and our podcast would be perfect for that. So I will send an intro to Kate from Adobe
Yeah.
Express. I'll get you
Well, so
in.
like I knew a bunch from the Express team, but everyone has left that I used to work with. So
Oh, well, I know a bunch now that I can introduce you to.
yes, I think this pod would be great for Express or
I
honestly, we use
agree.
Adobe. I use Adobe Podcast for the audio
Yeah,
editing all the time. So
it's really good.
shout out to Adobe's AI podcast
Yeah, I
editing.
use Photoshop a lot for our thumbnails.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah,
Powered by Adobe, baby.
we're for
Um,
Adobe.
okay. Anything else about Adobe or
Let me just. I
anything
can
else
get
happen?
you like let's try to get you to Adobe Max next year. But they had a whole creator track too. Like Holden and Samir spoke at it. Gohor's guide spoke at it too. I
Oh,
saw.
shout
I'm
out
like
to
catching some of
Gohar.
the recordings. Yeah, I know we talked about him early on. Yeah, like I think like they're tapping the creators, and the creator economy is where it's at. So yeah, very excited.
For sure. I'm trying to think. I feel like I had something else to say. Oh, who was the performing artist at Max?
Oh, honestly, like I forgot cause like okay, so like Adobe Max, a lot of people said it was weird this year, but I had an amazing time. Like this is my fourth time going, and every time I go, I
Why
know
was
more
it
people.
weird?
So it's like, because Max Bash had like low key like nothing to do. They had like it was just like a big concert, and like the artist like I forgot because it's like not like my type of music, and I was just like hanging out with some of my friends inside the stadium, and I wasn't like there. I also like low key like don't high key like don't like crowds. I really don't like crowds and loud music. Um, it's coming from like an event person. I really don't like loud music, and it hurts my ears, and it's sad. So I was just like last year I was T-Pain was the headline artist last year, and my friends wanted to go in, and I was just like I didn't like being boxed in the crowd. I was like I'm leaving. So like this year, I'm just gonna stay with my introvert friends, outside. So like
Was
I mean I wasn't there, so that's why I don't know, but I can look it up.
no, yeah, I wonder who it was. When I went, it was what's his name? The DJ, Steve Aoki.
Diplo? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that was fun. Let's see, Adobe Express or Adobe Max
Like Bash, and Bash was like
performer.
low key like lower production value this year. They basically like had shitty like stadium food. I mean, sorry, not shitty. I mean, it's like not that bad, but a lot
I
of
think
people
that's what it
complained about
was
the
when I
food.
was there. Yeah.
Oh, they had like fancy food trucks, like Michelin chefs food in like 2023 and 2024. They had a
Oh,
whole
really?
car wash activation. It was like really fun. Like in 2024, there was like both years there was like a lot of more things to do at Bash, and then this time it was like some seesaws, a human claw machine that the line was like 2 hours long, and there was like not as much to do, but I still had a wonderful time. Um,
Yeah.
hung with
I
people
mean,
there.
it seemed like they spent a crap ton of budget on creator stuff. So it
Yeah,
says that
creator
the
like okay,
artist
so
was
like
St. Paul and the Broken Bones. I don't know who
yeah,
that
that
is.
one. But they did. I think they spent all their budget on Creator Live, which was the secret, like not secret. It was the invite only creator party on Monday, before Max Bash. So that
Oh,
one
did you
was
go to that?
really fun. It was like yeah, yeah, yeah. That one was like where they dumped all their money on. They had like fancy food. They had like whole activations, bunch of stuff, and I think they just like dumped all their money on a lot of their budget on like the creator stuff instead of like the
Gotcha.
general stuff. Hmm.
Okay, so this is a little insight for anyone who's listening, right? Where I think there's two levels to every event, every big event, right? You've got the regular stuff that happens. That's what we're talking about, like the Adobe Max Bash. I think that's what it's called, right? It's a fun party. People go out there. I think if you are, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but if you are a quote unquote regular, that's what you see, and that's what you know, and it's a great time. Don't get me wrong,
Hmm.
right? Lovely. But if you're on the inside knowledge track of these things, there is almost always these little side small parties where brands they might not spend as much from a total budget spend, but they spend more per person. I feel like on
Hmm.
these things, and these are a little bit more specialized. You get typically better dinners, you get a little bit more better locations or things like that. But from a creator standpoint, I think it's better for two things. One, networking, because if you're in that room, you're usually in that room for a reason. Whether for right or for wrong, right? From a business standpoint, you're in there for a reason, probably. And then two, it is typically better access to people who own the budget at the brand that is hosting, right? And I think that's the
Hmm.
more important thing, again, for the show around how creators make money. It's all about how do you get into those rooms. And I was kind of explaining this to you at South by, because I think South by is like the king of this. There's so many. I remember you like texting me like, Justin, what events do I go to? I'm like, Grace, there's too many events. You got to have a list that you want to go to, but you also have to keep your schedule open because you never know what you're going to get invited to. And literally every night, it's like either I will hit you up or you hit me up of, all right, where are we going tonight? Where are you at here? Where are you at there? Or who's at this party? Who's at that party? Because I think that's where the true beauty of events really lies. I personally could care less usually about the sessions and stuff that go on. It's all of these small little side, whether it's a party or a gathering or a dinner or a get together. That's where the real sort of connections I feel really happen. And
Hmm.
it seems like that was exactly what this like pre-creator party kind of was for
Yeah,
Adobe Max.
and the whole ambassador summit. It was like the best day, I think. So same thing last year. I think that was the best day where we get to like hang out with all the other creators and stuff. But yeah, I know you also want to talk about Charlie from YouTube.
Yes, we can talk about Charlie Chang really quick. So, for those who don't know who Charlie Chang is, he's a big YouTuber. He's a really interesting guy because it seems like he's treating YouTube literally as a business rather than as a creator. Like if you look at his stuff, it's really well done videos, but it's not like a creator aesthetic type of video. And you can kind of look at some of these videos and you're like, I see what he's doing. I see why he's doing it. And I think I watched one interview. This was done about a year ago, so take some of the information with a grain of salt. But he was making like $200,000 to $250,000 a month from his YouTube channel, and I believe he said like 60 or 70% of that revenue came from affiliate marketing. So I know we've talked about affiliate marketing before, and you don't really think affiliate marketing makes a lot of money on YouTube. But when people like that are putting up those numbers, I mean, we're talking 7-figure business just off of affiliate revenue on YouTube. You go to his YouTube page right now, and I mean, some of his videos don't get a ton of views, but if he does it right, which I assume he does, that's why he makes so much money, it appears correctly on the SEO, like the YouTube search engine search. So when people click on his video, they have a high intent to buy, they click that link in his bio, he probably gets a piece of that conversion or whatever it may be. And I believe he does a lot of videos around like different SaaS companies. And what I've known is these SaaS companies pay out crazy for some of these affiliate deals because it's not just a one like product purchase. A lot of times, like if we're talking about like NordVPN or anything like that, like I've heard that those deals will be like, okay, if Grace converts, you not only get 50% of her first year of whatever she pays, but you get a recurring 25% until she ever leaves NordVPN. And if you stack up and you sell to 10,000 graces, and let's say your commission of that 25% for the rest is $1 per person, then that means that you don't have to touch anything. As long as Grace never leaves NordVPN, you're making 10 grand. Or like as long as the 10,000 graces never leave, you making 10 grand. And like imagine that, but just stacking and compounding year over year over year over year. That gets insane. So I wanted to bring Charlie up because his path, I think I saw another video. I just watched the headline. I didn't read into it. I think it was like he's making 4 million a year now, but he runs like 40 or 45 different YouTube channels. And so I don't know if he's the talent of it or if he's hiring out talent or anything like that. But that is a really interesting model that I don't think many people are talking about right now.
So I noticed all his videos are like Gemini Tutorial, ChatGPT, Bytes Busy LLC. It's all like business like tech content. It looks like it's like catered towards like founder or like entrepreneurial people who want to like use these tools to optimize their workflow. Yeah, he has like 1.4 million subscribers, and some of his videos have like 7,000 views. Some of them have like more views, but I guess it looks like he's like really optimizing for SEO, like you said. Do you know like what his other channels are about and where to find them? Or they're like content farming?
So I think he has his company around overseas recruiting. I don't know how big. I tried to do some research in terms of like how big it is, but I couldn't find any numbers or anything. In the interview that I watched of it, he was building it to sell. And I've also seen a lot of companies around this space pop up over the past like 3 or 4 years, kind of ever since COVID. So I really wonder how saturated the space is because there can only be, I feel, so many recruiting farms out of Southeast Asia. Let's just call it that. But there are a ton of them that I think have popped up. Like I think this one called Paired. I think Sean Purry has invested in one that he talks about a ton on My First Million. Forget the name of it. I've got another friend that started as his own company from like, he used to be like a product manager or whatever. And then he's just like, screw this. I'm going to create this recruiting company in the Philippines. And so there's a bunch of these that have popped up. I don't know how successful they are because I feel like they can't all be successful. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
I think the demand is high. It's like a saturated market, so there's more room. I
Yeah, but
mean,
like how
design
many
buddies, we're focused on recruiting too.
Yeah,
but
but like
US market.
how many like Filipinos can we hire in the
A
US?
lot. A lot. A lot. The
Fair,
hospitality
fair.
industry, the cruise, yeah, a lot. Yeah.
But a lot of these are like remote job stuff. But I guess if you're doing like customer service and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I've seen a lot of these different like agencies pop up over the past 3 or 4 years. I wonder how
Like all
sustainable it
all
is.
the crew on cruises are all Filipino, Indian, and they pay them. It's actually high compared to like actual Filipino salaries. They pay them like $1-2 an hour, and they work 13-hour days, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, and that's like really rough. Um, Anyways, sorry. I was like a little tangent. No, there it's like huge. Like the whole workforce is like Filipino. Like majority of the workforce on cruise ships are Filipino. American companies. These are American companies and the SaaS companies, and yeah. A lot of my friends have Filipino virtual assistants because my friend from the Philippines told me that in the Philippines it was like they got colonized like 5 times, so they used to being like a service to people, so they're very like
Mm,
really good at hospitality because they were colonized so many times. So yeah, I don't
interesting.
know, but shout out to the Philippines. I was gonna go there. I was supposed to be in Philippines technically. I could have been in Philippines right now, but I didn't because it overlapped with Adobe Express. So my friend, um, Justin, another Justin, Justin Madison. He's one of my good friends. I met him from Design Buddies. He's like a really successful founder and also mute DJ festival. He has a festival in the Philippines and a tech conference. I'll also go speak there, but it just like I already committed to Adobe Max already, and I just like there you go. But anyway, shout out the Philippines. But that's the reason why there's so many people in the service industry, like nursing, like in the service industry who are from the Philippines.
Yeah. No,
And
I mean
virtual
definitely
assistants and stuff. Yeah.
shout out to the
Hmm.
Philippines. I had a virtual assistant from the Philippines for a little bit as well. My editor for Declassified is based out of the Philippines. Shout out to James, the goat when it comes to
Hmm.
editing any of our declassified stuff. But yeah, I really wanted to share Charlie's story. So like, if anybody wants to dive deeper into it, definitely do. But I just don't think people are looking at YouTube from an affiliate
Hmm.
standpoint enough.
Yeah.
I think there's so much that you could do there from a brand standpoint as well as from a creator standpoint too.
Hmm.
I as much content as there is on YouTube, I don't think enough people are actually leveraging it, or there are different ways that people aren't even thinking about leveraging it. So to say, affiliate revenue being
Yeah.
one.
I
Um,
agree.
yeah,
How
I
would
know
you
you have
recommend
to
someone get
run soon.
started? Oh no,
Yeah,
I
go
have
ahead.
like 10 minutes. How do you
Okay.
recommend people get started with affiliate revenue?
Like I would do research on blogs, not vlogs, blogs. So you're talking like the Points Guy, Nerd Wallet, all this type of stuff that have done affiliate revenue via the web, and figure out how can you make that content but visually appealing for YouTube specifically, and then get really good at titles and thumbnails so that you're getting people with high purchase intent to then click on that link in whatever your or click that link in your description, video description, and then converting from there.
What
But
makes a
like,
good affiliate video to you?
so I think if you're able to make, because you're essentially making an ad, right? But if you're
Hmm.
just making a video where that product that you are promoting is a piece of it, I think that's where the combination of YouTube and affiliate is really interesting. So, like, for
Hmm.
instance, if you were to do a video about, let's say, running, right? Because you like running, right? Do you track your running at all? Like,
I
do you use
do
anything?
Strava,
Okay, so you use
Strava,
Strava. Do
and
you
Apple
do you have like
Watch.
a watch?
Apple Watch,
Okay, Apple Watch. What's the other one? What's like the big one that like runners use? I forget what is it.
Garmin.
Not Gar. Is it Garmin? Right.
Hmm.
So like if you wanted to make an affiliate video of Apple Watch, like let's say you had an affiliate link for an Apple Watch and you had an affiliate link for Garmin, right? You did a video of tracking how long it took me to run 5 miles Apple Watch versus Garmin or something like that. So
Mm.
now the concept is YouTube made, but you can sneak in that affiliate link for both of those products within the video, right? Where it's not like it's salesy, but
Mm.
not at the same time. And I think
Hmm.
that's where the really uniqueness of it is versus something like TikTok Shop, which is essentially affiliate marketing as well. But like that's like very salesy. the whole time, right? It's like, I'm gonna pitch you this thing, you're gonna buy it or you're not, or you're gonna swipe off to the next video. Versus YouTube, I think you can have a little bit more fun. You can add a little bit more storytelling to it, and you can reap the benefits of both affiliate and if the video does well and performs well, you get the ad revenue on it as well. So like even like
Mm.
Charlie, I think there are screenshots of him making like $1 million from just one YouTube video, and that's from AdSense. Not we're not even talking the affiliate stuff, but like if it does hit, you do still have that opportunity to make a lot of money from it if you choose the right niche and everything.
Mm. Yeah, I also done affiliate stuff, and I noticed what works best for me is like vibe coding tools, like showcasing what I made and talking through my process of how I prompted, how I made this tool, and showcasing my affiliate link and people clicking on it. It's like a little tutorial, but like, here, check it out. Click the link. Yeah, like I noticed his stuff is
Exactly.
like Gemini tutorial, ChatGPT tutorial. Yeah, I need to get on this.
And I
I
would
feel like there's like
imagine,
so much things.
those affiliate deals on those are crazy.
Yeah, I need to get connected with OpenAI. I use them every day. Notice me,
Same.
senpai. Yeah.
Like I bet you the ChatGPT affiliate. Let's see. Chat GPT affiliate program. So
It's
you
like
can like
really high
look up
production, his videos.
you
Yeah.
can look
Go
up
ahead.
these programs sometimes, and sometimes they'll pop up.
Mm.
Da, 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 da. Does ChatGPT? So it doesn't. There's not a public one. I bet you that there is one,
I should reach out to them. Yeah.
but you just have to find it. But I would
Yeah.
imagine like a deal with ChatGPT. So what is it? $20 a month, right? So
Mm-hmm.
240 a year. Like I would imagine it's you get 70% of their first year fee if they buy the 1 year thing, and then a recurring 10% for lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm.
is insane. Like again, if you're able to make stackable content and that video does well, and let's say that video lasts for 3, 4, 5, 10 years, imagine how much recurring revenue that video makes. Ridiculous.
Mm.
So
I'm still have so many ideas buzzing in my head. I want to do, I have a couple ideas, vibe coding tools and image generating tools. I just want to do like a comparison analysis. I have a prompt and I put it into all the tools and like make a tweet.
yeah,
I
you could
think,
do that.
yeah, just easy way to make content. Feel free to steal my ideas if you're
Which
listening to
which
get senpais,
which
I mean, money
right?
people to notice you.
Which
Senpai
LLM
notice.
makes the best tweets, right? I tried it for 30. I tried all LLMs for 30 days. Which one makes the best tweets? Which one makes the
Yeah,
most
I need to be a
viral tweets,
thumbnail.
right? So, like
Yeah.
I think there's so many things that we can do. I know you got to run. Any last minute things before you got to jump.
Bro, which element? Oh my god, I have so many three different content ideas right now. There's a vibe coding, trying out benchmarking vibe coding tools, Michelle tweets, and see which one pops. An experiment over, yeah, Twitter and Threads and see which one pops. Oh my god, I'm getting so many ideas right now. I cannot wait to execute on them. I just got like really excited because yeah, I just love. I fucking sorry. I freaking love AI tools. I'm not sure if I swear it would get demonetized. So like I effing love AI tools. AI B2B SaaS agents. Sorry. I get really excited.
I love it. I love it. All right, I think that's the episode. All right,
Yeah.
Grace. Peace.
Bye.